you are letting go more and more of that superficial tension in the muscles. Soften the groins, feeling the contact between the base of the body and the floor. And just using enough tension to keep you upright, but trying to relax all the rest, all the unnecessary holding that we have in the body. And then slowly, as you press the tips of the fingers down, then also feel the ascending force, so the sucking up action in the palms of the hands, in the armpits, in the ribs, so that the downward and the upward forces balance each other. So in other words, you are not allowing yourself to completely collapse. Yeah, so that's when the downward force takes over. And also, you're not doing the other, where you're really propping yourself up. Yeah, so the truth is somewhere in the middle. And with practice, you will find that place where you can just be relaxed, be in the present moment. Now keeping the shoulder blades, the inner shoulder blades deep in against the back ribs. From there, place your hands in front of you and the roots of your tongues against the chest, fingers slightly away from the chest wall. Relax the upper arms, relax the elbows, close the eyes from top to bottom, as if you are looking down from the brain towards the heart, towards the heart center in the chest. And taking a few breaths through the center of the chest. And feeling how that affects you. How does it feel when the control center moves from the head down towards the heart? Relax the face, all the facial muscles, widening the space between the eyebrows, soften the eyelids, let the eyes move back away from the eyelids. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. And after your next breath in, we'll do the 3 Oms together in your own time. Om. As you exhale, bow the head down, surrender the brain to the heart once more. Release the hands to your thighs and listen to the resonance of silence. And breathing in, lift the head up and open the eyes. And ready to start. So stretching the legs forward and cross the legs the other way. We're going to do some stretches sitting cross-legged first. So if you can sit down on the floor, you can do that. Otherwise, if your knees are coming up, stay up high. Placing your hands on the tops of the thighs and head forwards and back all the way. Back to center, side to side. Back to center as you press the hands down on the thighs, rolling the shoulders forwards, up, back and down. Focusing on the movement back and down. And release, turn your palms to face up, pressing the backs of the hands down and then rolling the other way. So back up, forwards and down. And releasing, as you breathe in, stretch the arms forward, interlock the fingers all the way, palms away. Now expanding the skin from the center of the palms out. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up. And you can just bend the elbows to the sides first, taking the hands to your head, roll the shoulders back, keeping the shoulder blades deepen against the back ribs. Take your hands back more and then slowly straighten the arms with awareness that you're extending up through the inner hands, inner arms. And breathe, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. As you exhale, then you can release and just feeling how you are. And then the other way, so as you breathe in, arms forward and throw the other way. And then palms away, spreading the skin of the palms from the center out. And as you inhale, stretch the arms up. Yeah, so reaching up through the mounds of the index fingers, inner hands. Gripping the outer upper arms in towards one another, lifting. And as you exhale, you can release. And you're going to go to the side, so taking your right hand down, left arm up and over. Inhaling up, exhaling the other side. So if you down side to side, top arm stays straight knee, bottom arm bends, top arm straight, then you go to the side. Next time on your right side, stay on the right. And pressing your left bottom down and then extending from the outer left hip all the way through the tips of the fingers. So roll the bottom shoulder back and down. Bottom ribs are looking at the ceiling. And breathe. And then inhaling, coming up. And exhale, go to your left side. So press your right bottom down. Extend from the outer right hip all the way up. Bottom shoulder back and down, bottom ribs are looking at the ceiling, and breathe. Inhale, come up. Press your hands by the sides, lengthening through the front body. And then as you exhale, turning to your right, so left hand to the inside of the left knee first. Inhale, lift. Exhale, turn, lifting and turning. Taking the hand to the outside or the other leg. Lift and turn. Breathing in, come back to center. Lift up. And as you exhale, turning to your left side, lifting and turning. Take your hand to the outside or the other leg. Breathing in, making space as you breathe out and turning more. And as you inhale, come back to center. Stretch the arms forward and up to the ceiling, extending, palms face each other. And then from the hips coming forward, lengthening, go halfway and lengthen forward. Stay there for a little bit. And then take your hands down and take your head down. So with the head, as the forehead gets the support and allowing the front brain move to the back brain, the eyes deeper into the eye sockets. And see how the hips also start softening when the head and the brain, thinking brain, becomes quieter. And then as you inhale, come back to center. And then uncross the legs and cross the other way. And one more time, you come forward. So again, stretching the arms forward first, up to the ceiling. Extend and lengthen the sides of the body. And then from there, come forward from the hips, going halfway and lengthening all the way through the tips of the fingers, reaching forward. Taking the hands down and lengthen through the front, and then take yourself down. Yeah, so again, as the head gets the support, let the front brain recede to the back brain. So the awareness is going from the front from the thinking towards the back body. Let the hips become soft. Be with the breath. And then as you inhale, come back to center and stretch the legs forward. I need to show you my view here, and I'm afraid if I wait that the sun will be gone. This was kind of blue whole day. Yeah. It's the other way. No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. You've got the sheep there and the sunny. It's kind of, the sun is disappearing now. It was just so beautiful. Anyway, not to get distracted. Okay, so let's come into Adho Mukha. So come to all fours, spread the fingers apart. Then the toes under, lengthen back. And then from there, just come up by lifting the hips up. So start with your knees back, and then slowly straightening the legs. And just feeling your way into the pose slowly as you are warming up. Yes, as you press the inner hands down, what happens? How does it change the way you lift? Keep your outer upper arms firm, squeezing towards one another and lifting, lengthening the sides. Lift the buttocks as high as you can and pull up the knees, then make your legs firm. It's good to see your legs, Trish, actually, in the shore. So are you pulling up those kneecaps? That's what I want to know. I would need my glasses, actually, to see that properly. All right, then as you exhale, you can bend your knees, come down. And give yourself a block. And we are going to do Adho Mukha, but with the feet apart. If you have a bolster, could you have a bolster? Right, so sitting on a block with the feet by the sides. And then we are going to come forward this way. And I want you to have the forearms, the elbows are on something if you can. So either a few blocks or bolster. And as I'm pressing, so I'm kind of pulling from the fingers back towards the elbows to lift from the lower belly. And that way, slowly coming forwards more. Yeah, and then you can come forward, taking the head down. Okay, go for it. So the best you can, try to keep the buttocks down. And this is a very important movement in your hips. Often, we tend to work a lot on your outward rotation in the hips, the external rotation, but it has to be balanced. Yeah, for healthy hips, the external rotation has to be balanced by internal. So, and as you are pulling the forearms from the fingers back to the elbow, see how that affects the lift in the abdomen, in the lower belly. All right, then from there you can come and do Adho Mukha Svanasana once more. Yeah. So take yourself into your pose again. You can keep the bolster there for your head. And again, so just feeling, so get into the pose, see how it is now. Feel how the legs are now. How are the hips? All right, then as you exhale, you can bend your knees and come down. And so for a bit, you're going to lie down. And we're going to do a little work on your hips. So, yeah, with your knees up, you're going to do the counter movements first. So one knee goes back, one goes forward, and then circular movements. Yeah, so you start here, so it kind of can get a bit confusing for the brain because you're doing different movements with each hand. And then the other way, so the other goes forward, the other goes back, and then out to the side. Okay? Then after that, you're going to bring your feet down, taking your right foot against the inner left knee, and then we do this twist, so lengthening from the groin towards the knee as you bring your knee down, and then turning the abdomen away from the leg. And then same on the other side. Yeah. Turning away. Second time, same, but this time this foot is coming closer to the hip. So it's kind of like when I go down, now the leg is going down lower, so it's more challenging. Yeah, I'll show you on the other side too, so it makes sense. So this foot then goes back more by the side of the hip, and then lengthening this way. Okay. And then with your foot against the knee, you're going to lift the knee, left knee up. Then taking the knee to the head to the knee. Yeah, and then the other side. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so first the counter movement. So you start, lift your feet off the floor, and then you put your hands on your knees, and one goes forward and one goes back, and then sideways. So it's like it's not a bicycle, Trish. It's around, yeah, circular movements. If you look at me, I'm doing it sitting. So I don't know what I would compare it to. It's like if you were paddling a boat and you got a bit confused or something. I don't know. Yeah, so it's circular movements in both hips. And with the hands, so you're softening the hips. That's the idea. That's why you're holding the legs. All right, and then the other side. So starting with the other leg forward, the other leg back. So do the opposite direction. Okay, good. And then bring your feet down to the floor. And now lifting your right foot up, you're going to bring your right foot against the left knee. And then think of lengthening. So you don't just take yourself to the side, but as you lengthen from the right going towards the right knee, you go to the side, but you go taking the knee away from your chest, if that makes sense. So not just to the side, but away from it. So you're trying to keep it on the mat even as much as possible. Yeah, go all the way, bringing the knee to the floor and roll the abdomen away from the leg. But the foot, so here's it, Marian, the foot is on the opposite thigh near the knee. Yeah, the foot is there, secure. As you go to the side. All right, then come back to center. Changing sides. So left foot against the right knee. Yeah, so you can use your hand to help you to secure the foot there on the opposite leg. And then lengthening the left groin towards the left knee as you take it down. Yeah, so left knee all the way down. But think of lengthening away from it. This is kind of tricky for most people, but it will come with practice. And then, yeah, good Liam. And then rolling the abdomen from left to right, breathing. And then inhale, come back to center. Bring both feet to the floor. And the second time we do this, we are going to, so again, taking your right foot against the left knee, but this time taking the left foot closer to you, yeah? Left foot closer to the hip, that's it. And then again, go to your right, so lengthening the right knee away from your right groin. So not just to the side, Mariam, but try and lengthen away. So something has to happen in the groin to allow you to do that. And then inhale, come back to center. And change side. So left knee, left foot against the right knee. And then as you go to your left side, you want to lengthen from your left groin towards the left knee, roll in the abdomen from left to right. Yeah, trying to keep your right shoulder down and breathing. And then as you inhale, coming back to center, take both feet to the floor. And now we are going to take the right foot against the left knee once more. And this time you're going to lift your left foot off the floor. You're going to interlock the fingers around your left knee. And then lifting the knee up closer to your head, and also then the head close to the knee. So you feel it more in that right hip. Yeah. So you're holding over the knee, Maria, not under, but over. Yeah, that's it. And then bring it closer to you. All right, and then you can release on that side. And then change side, so bringing your left foot against the right knee. Oh, sorry, left foot, right knee. And then lift your right foot up, interlock the hands around your left knee, and then moving it closer to you. And then the head up is the last bit. And feeling your left hip, and how does it feel? And then releasing. And now, so I was talking about those bells. So we will do leg raises lying down, but we will try, so if you have a longer belt, so like 2.5 meters, if you are shorter legs, maybe 2 meters will do. I don't know, we'll see. And so have a look first. You're gonna have your belt, and it's kind of with practice, it becomes easier to use, but if the buckle is facing down, so that you can adjust it, yeah? Because if it's up, then it's tricky. So it just might take a little fiddling to start with if you're not used to it that much. And then you're gonna have the belt around the pelvis first. And it's very short, I have to make it longer. And around the front of the heel, and then I can, so it's kind of the center of the buttocks, and then pulling at the belt to tighten it a little bit so that I can really push against it. Yeah. And just stay here for a little bit. So it's a really nice way to feel the connection between the hip, the heel extending, and the compactness in the hip as the femur head goes down. Then from there, you're going to take the belt up around the chest and going a little deeper, so the leg goes up a little higher. And it's reminding you how the chest needs to open. Yeah, then we do the same on the other side. So we start with the pelvis and then the chest. And then the third time, so we do both legs, the 2 actions. And then after that, we do the right leg again. but this time the belt will be around the head. Yeah? So the back of the head, and as I take the head down, the foot comes with me. Yeah? The leg has to be perfectly straight, and then I could have it a little shorter. Yes, to challenge yourself, challenge the back of the leg to open more. Yeah, and even shorter still. Okay? Clear? And then on the other side. Supta Parangistasana 1 and variations. So let me see how you get on. So first the belt is around the back of the pelvis, knee. And around the right foot in such a way that it's the front of the heel. Yeah, around the front of the heel. Now you want to be able to straighten the leg, but just about. I want you to kind of really struggle to straighten the leg. And you can just stay there for a bit. Straighten the left leg towards the wall. Yeah, be on the center of the heel. You don't have to hold the belt because it's kind of holding itself. So just take your arms to the sides and breathe and feel and see what the leg is doing. So trying to find all the different connections in the body. Yeah. So we are not kind of just stretching, playing out, but it also has to come in. So the stretch, the extension is always balanced by the compactness. Yeah. Coming back to ourselves in a sense, not just going out into the world, but coming back in. All right, and then you can bend that knee, keep the belt on the foot, but see if you can move it up around the back of the chest, kind of mid-chest, underneath the armpits, not the low back, so it needs to be around the thoracic spine. Yeah, we're all doing okay with the belts that we have. And straighten the opposite leg, Trish. And again, just give yourself a moment to be there, to extend the heel up against the belt, to feel the lift in the chest now, the connection now between the lift of the chest and the extension of the right leg. Pull up the knee, broaden the back of the leg. If the belt is too short, Marianne, then just hold it. Don't have it around the chest because that won't work. All right, and then you can bend your knee and take your belt down, and we'll change legs. You can, if you still, so you can keep it around the pelvis and just change feet. So it's around the front of the heel and the pelvis, not the low back, but the pelvis, so right at the center of the buttock. And again, so when you're there, then let the leg straighten fully, the left leg is fully straight. And just feeling what happens, feeling the connection between pressing of the heel up and of the femur head going down deep into the hip socket. Stay and breathe. Okay, and then from there, you can bend the knee and take the belt up higher, so around the back ribs, so just under the armpit. And then again, straighten the leg, and if you need to adjust the belt, extend through your right leg. And so going a little deeper into the stretch. Try and keep the knee straight, Karma. And breathe. All right, good. And then you can bend your knee, take your belt off. And take your belt off completely. Now you're going to do the one with the head in the belt. So start again. Put your belt around your right foot. And then the back of the head. The back of the head. And it shouldn't be so tight that the head doesn't go all the way down, but it shouldn't be loose that you kind of don't feel anything either. So it should be a challenge to bring your foot up. You should feel it in the back of the leg, but the knee needs to straighten. Yeah, so now pushing the head down and push the heel up against the belt and broaden the back of the leg. The back of the right leg again broadening. Yes, it needs to be the center of the back of the head. I don't know if you can hear it. I've got some screaming boys outside. Freddy's here with a friend. So really broaden the back of the right leg. Yeah. And then after a while, you might be able to go a little deeper. So yeah, shorten the belt a little bit if you feel up to it. So don't just be there having a holiday, but challenge yourself. So straighten the leg, Marianne B. Yeah, so have the leg active. All right, and then you can release the head, bend your knee, and you can just take the other, you can just swap the feet, yeah, if you can do that. And again, so trying to take the head down while the foot is coming, the leg is coming with you. Open the back of the knee fully, extend through your right heel, the back of the right thigh is going down. And the outer left hip especially is moving away from you, the outer left hip. All right, and then you can release. Well done. So now we need to do Supta Parangustasana 2. And so if your belt is long enough, have a break on the side. And if your belt is long enough, you can do it in the same way. So you're going to have the belt around the pelvis. Taking the right foot in the belt first. And then taking it out to the side. And have a break here, the outside of the head. Yeah. So it really creates that connection between that hip, the outer left hip, and the right foot. It's a good feeling. And if your belt is not long enough, just have it around your foot, but have that brick here so you still have that action there. Okay? So go for it. So right leg to the side. And try to find the middle of the pelvis. So if it didn't work with the leg up, it would be the same. So you just have the belt around your foot, but have a brick on the outside of the hip, so it gives you some action there too. Straighten in the opposite leg. So straighten and twist the left leg, yeah, and to the side until you come to your brick. So the brick is just tiny bit away from your hip. And once you hit that brick, and see what happens. See that feeling, that action of the sucking in of that right buttock is so important to keep that awareness there. Yeah, be firmly down with your left thigh. Don't tilt to the side. And feel, so if you've got the long belt around your hip, there's a nice connection you're making with the left hip, the right leg, yeah? All right, and then you can release and change sides. So the brick is just outside of the left hip now, taking your left leg to the side. So have it a little closer. Marianne, have the brick a little closer to the hip so that you can, so it's just literally just like 5 centimeters away from the hip, not too far away. Yeah, still closer. So you can rest on it. And broadening the abdomen from left to right. Yeah. So see what you are learning from this. So yeah, so we are making these, creating experiments, awareness, bringing awareness to different parts of the body so that you can then take it into your practice. Hopefully, yeah. Into your daily practice. All right, and then come up. So one more thing on the back. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana, but just a 90-degree. And again with the belt if you can. So now you've got both legs in the belt. Short and straightening up to 90-degree. And again, that belt is down around the pelvis. And you want to really kind of struggle to straighten the legs, yeah? So if it's too easy, then it won't do the job. And then from there, stretching the arms up. The humerus moving down to your shoulder joints as you bring the arms overhead. And just staying here for a little bit. So we're going to try and stay here for a minute. See what happens. See what connections you can make. Yeah. So the belt is around the center of the pelvis, yeah? The center of the buttocks. Yeah, otherwise just pulling at the belt if it's not long enough. Yeah. And if the belt is there securely, then you can just stretch the arms up and over, making sure the heads of the humerus, the upper arm is down deep in your shoulders. Yeah, just nearly there. Go on, make it a little shorter if you can. It's very good for you, this. Good for your low back, for your hips. Straight legs, knee. Yeah, recharge the legs with energy. So Kama, the belt could be a little lower underneath the buttocks. All right, and then we are going to release. So bend your knees, and we're going to do the boat pose or Paripurna Navasana. And again, so using that belt, you're gonna have it around your feet again. Yeah, so just around the ribs and then around your feet. I should have the buckle facing me, but I don't. And so the belt is reminding you where you need to lift. So it's, you know, that's difficult in this sport. Yeah, so it's not this, but you're trying to lift the chest. The belt is doing that for you. And then you stretch the arms forward. Yeah, so you get a sense of what this pose should feel like. Yeah, so a bit higher, Carmen, with the belt around the back ribs, a little higher, not the lower back. And then have it a little tighter. Make sure your buckle is on the side and you can pull at it towards you. Yeah. And then the feet. So the feet should be kind of a little higher than your eyes. Right? And then, so once the belt is there holding you, straighten the legs, knee, and stretch the arms forward. Yeah, stretching the arms forward. Ooh, Carl is going in all directions. Forward, stretch with your arms, but that's too high. Forward, just forward. Shoulders back, lift the chest, breathe, stay there for a little bit longer. Roll the shoulders back, Marianne, lift the chest up. As you pull at your belt, roll the shoulders back and lift the chest. All right, and then you can release. There's an action in this pose. We'll do it one more time, but this you can use wall. And you're just going to have the belt around your feet. So this time doesn't matter if it's long or short. So the feet are just, again, maybe harder than you think. Belt around your feet. And as you pull out the belt, you lift the chest again. So where you had that belt a moment ago. And then try to feel as if you want to kind of lift the tailbone into the body, away from the floor. As if you want to levitate over the floor, in a sense. Okay? Try that. Okay, so heels are against the wall, not the whole feet, but only the heels. So come in to bring yourself closer to the wall. So your feet are higher. So the feet will be able to go higher if you bring your buttocks closer to the wall. Yeah, that's it. And so first pull at the belt to roll the shoulders back to get that lift in the chest. So it's kind of like a rowing movement you're making. And then, yeah. And then feel also that the tailbone is moving away from the floor into your body deeper. Yeah, tailbone moving into your body. Disappearing in. Yeah, Karma, but now you have to lift yourself up. So, and it's better if you're kind of lying down and it's hard to sit up again. So start from sitting and hold the belt and don't go back so far. Yeah. It's good for your core as well. So you bend your knees to lift yourself up. Just bend your knees to lift yourself up. And then letting go of the belt and just stretching the arms forward if you haven't done that yet. Some of you have. Yeah. All right, and then you can release. Yes, there's an important thing to learn from this pose. How the elbow moves in the body, into the body. So we are going to stand up now. And we're going to do 3 poses first. Taking your right leg out, but I want you to use the wall. Yeah, so you're going to press the knee against the wall, feeling the stretch from the groin to the knee, out the knee, back into the hip. So that action again in the buttock, and then stretching the arms up. The 3 pose, Vrikshasana. If the hip is stiff, so you want the hips to be leveled. If they're not, then take the knee forward more. Yeah, so from the side, you don't want that to happen. You want, if that's happening, then take your knee forward more. So your hips are leveled with each other. If you know, hopefully it makes sense. Okay, so right knee is up against the wall. If the foot doesn't want to stay there, then you press the heel more than the toes. And as you press the knee against the wall, can you feel that kind of circular action around the upper right leg?
Martina, I've just unmuted because I just wondered, how do you stop your right foot from slipping down your left thigh?
Yeah, so look at me. So if
yeah, I can see that, but my material is quite slippy in these leggings.
So is mine, and I could do this with velvet leggings too. So if I'm pushing with the foot, with the toes, it slips. Yeah. So
yeah.
I need to heel. So like, you know, so I can do it with the toes away from the leg even, yeah? And then it won't go anywhere. So it's the heel that, you see?
Yes, yes. I never understood that.
Yeah, so try that.
Okay, thank you. I'll mute myself now again. Thank you, Martina.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes, I'm sure Karma's not the only one. So if that's your problem too, see if you can move the toes away from the leg and just press the heel. Yeah, how does that affect things? And of course you've got that added challenge of the hips, so you're doing well. Try and push the heel. All right, and then changing sides. So pressing the knee. So if you press the knee against the wall, can you come closer to the wall, Karma? So knee goes against the wall. And you can, in your case, so the knee needs to come forward. Yeah? Forward more because of to give the hips some space. Yeah, and you're not pushing the heel, you're pushing the toes. So I want you to take the toes away, yeah, and lift it up higher and push the heel and see if you can get somewhere with that. It doesn't want to do that. Probably have to tie it there. All right, and then you can release on that side too. So now we're coming to we're going to do Trikonasana with the long belt again. So so let us see what we can manage. This is a very nice way to understand the pose. To do it like this. So I've got the belt, the heel bone, and then around the front hip. I'm gonna tighten it now so that, and it needs to be quite tight because when I go into the pose, it will become looser. Yeah, so I want to really make it quite tight. It's going away. So it's a little fiddly, but it's worth it. Right? So you're making again the connection between the front hip, the back heel, and then stretching the arms out. And like so, coming into the pose. You can use a brick here, stretching the arm up. Yeah, so it's a nice way to do the pose. So let's do that first. If the belt is not long enough, then use the wall for the back heel. Yeah, so you have some action there. And just have the belt, the short belt, whatever belt you have, around the front thigh, and then pulling at it with your left hand at the back so that you get that action of the hip moving in. Yeah, you can do it like this. Go for it and see. This is interesting. See how the right hip is moving back. There's so much kind of freedom in that hip there. And in the groin also. Wait for everybody. So it's the back heel, Carmel, and the front hip. Yeah, good, Lee, looks good. So, but your upper body is facing forward, Maria, so it's Trikonasana. Upper body faces forward, not to the side, but forward. Trikonasana. No, it's the other leg, the other hand that goes down. I have to show you again on the other side. So see what you've got to learn from this. So be there. Yeah? So feel that compactness around the hips, the connection between the heel, the back heel with the pelvis, with the front hip. They are communicating with each other now. And then inhaling, coming up. Let's do the other side. So hopefully you have the right size for the belt. But you might find that the sides feel different. Yeah? So you might feel that the belt is the right length on one side, but maybe not the other, but we'll see. So Marianne, please watch, because you I think you forgot what Trikonasana looks like. So you're starting with the upper body facing forward, not this way, but forward. Arms out, and then with that, go to the side. Yeah, can you use some brick for your hand? Okay. So abdomen turning, chest turning. So yeah, so it should be a bit of a challenge too. You should really feel the belt pulling you. Yeah, good. Turning the abdomen up, the chest up, top shoulder back. Pressing the heel on the belt. So that the back heel again is talking to your front hip. the outer left hip is moving back and there's space. There's a lot of space there. It's good for your spine. All right, and then inhale, come up. And one more time. This time from here, we're going to go into Adra Chandrasana. So with the same belt. Okay, so belt on heel. Have a break. Ready? Yeah, so watch me first. You're going to go into Trikonasana. And then top hand to your hip. Bend in the front knee as you try not to lose the belt. Yeah? So as you go forward, the belt is tight as you lift the leg up. Adra Chandrasana. And then if you can, you're going to face the floor. So I have 2 breaks. So the toes are pointing down. And it's like Virabhadrasana 3, warrior number 3. And you can go back into Adra Chandrasana. And back into this one. Still with the belt around. So very good for your hips. Yeah. You try. So head rather into some break. Have 2 breaks ready. Yeah? So one is here and one is forward slightly. So make sure the belt is well around the heel bone. So if you need to get down and fix it, if it's come forward, do that. And then so turn your front foot out well. Stretch the arms out to the sides from the center of the chest. So the belt knee needs to be a little higher on the leg. So it's around the hip, the groin. And then come into Trikonasana. Triangle pose first. Yeah. Abdomen turning, chest turning, top shoulder back. Finding that connection with the back heel through that belt. Right outer hip moving back towards that heel. They talk to each other, the buttock with the heel. And then take the top hand to your hip. And so carefully, you're going to bend the front knees just slowly, not to lose the belt. Yes, you've got to keep the belt tight the whole time. As you start to move the back foot forward, keep your front hand on that brick. Take it forward about the foot, take it forward more lean. The brick needs to come, that's it. And then see if you can come up. Yeah, and still pushing against the heel, or heel against that belt. And lift it up maybe a little higher, some of you. So it's a nice way to do the pose. Yeah, so you're feeling well aligned, energy flowing properly. So turn the chest up, Marianne, a little more, if you can. Chest turning up, top shoulder back. Stretching the arm up if you can. Yeah, not bad. Knee, good. I thought that the blue belt was too short, but it's actually okay. And then from there, don't take the leg down, but you're going to turn the foot to face to the floor, taking your hand down to the other brick. So it's like warrior number 3. Take your toes to point to the floor. The hips are leveled. Hips leveled. Take your hands down on your bricks. Both hands. Right. And can we do it one more time? Can you turn your toes halfway up? And take your hand to your hip again. Going back into Adra Chandrasana. Yeah. So which one is it? Your right hip is getting good strengthening action there. And one more time, can we do it one more time? Turn your toes to the floor and come back into warrior number 3. So taking your right hip down, or left hip. Hips are level, shoulders back, lift the chest up. Good, and then you can come back, step back into Trikonasana. If you're still there with the belt. Be graceful dancers. And then come up. Good. Cool. So let's do the other side. Make sure you've got enough space on the left side. I'm so badly running out of time again, but we've done it. It's not like we haven't done anything. It's just that my plan is always longer than the time that I have. Okay, so the belt is around the left heel and the right heel and the left hip. And so make it tight, turning your front foot out. And then in your own time, then you can come into Trikonasana. And if the belt is loosening, you have two options. Either take your feet a little wider, or also take the belt a little tighter. It's a nice kind of expanded pose, isn't it, with the belt? Front leg straightly. Yeah, Karma, but the belt should be around the front hip and the back heel. It's the other way around. From there, then you're going to bend the front knee carefully so that you don't lose the belt. Take your hand to take the brick forward about a foot, coming into Adra Chandrasana. So let's just, Karma, just do Adra Chandrasana with the back against the wall. Back against it, forget the belt, because just do it that way. Have a brick for the front foot. All right, and then begin to, so bend the front knee, step the back foot forward, have the, which one's your left hand on the brick has to come forward about a foot forward of your front foot. Yeah, and then coming up, lifting the right leg up and extending through the heel. Yeah, but lean and turning the chest up. Top hip moving up, and your top hand is on the hip first. Top hand on the hip first, turn the abdomen up, turn the chest up. Still pushing the heel against that belt. The bottom buttock, what is it doing with that belt? So it's really, the belt is showing you the way. Right, and from there, turn your toes to point to the floor of the lifted foot, and take your hips leveled with each other, and take your other hand down to the brick and do the warrior number 3, extending through the heel, shoulders back, lift the chest. And then one more time, coming to the half moon pose, Adra Chandrasana. One more time. Lift, yeah, so lifting the hip up, turning the foot halfway up, top hand on the hip. Lift your foot up higher, Marianne, if you can. One more time, turn your toes turn to the floor. Take your hand down to your brick. So toes turn to the floor, and you're extending through the heel still. So strong, firm leg, straight leg, knee, straight, lifted leg, straight. Okay. And from there, you can step back into Trikonasana gracefully. Yeah. And then as you breathe in, you can come up and be together. I'm going to sit down now. sitting on some blanket or block. Yeah, give yourself some height if you need to. And have the belt again around around the pelvis and around the heels. Yeah, so here we go. Again. So again, the heels are talking to your hips. Staying here just for a little bit. You can do this with me now. And then Urdhva Hastasana, arms forward, up to the ceiling, extending, lengthening, but feeling what's happening in your legs, the firmness in your legs. Yeah, are you with me? So belt and heels around the middles of the buttocks. And then arms forward, up to the ceiling, lengthening the sides. See what's happening in your legs. And then you can release the hands back down. And keeping the belt there, you're going to take your left leg out of it. So what I did was I lifted the other leg, take this, to free this knee out, and taking the foot against the opposite thigh for Janushirshasana. Keeping the belt still there. Yeah, so you can turn first towards the straight leg, lifting and turning towards your right leg. And then stretching the arms up and coming forward, lengthening first and then forward. Yeah, so what is the belt giving you, that compactness? If you can reach the foot, then of course you can hold the belt. Yeah? So if you don't just go around in the back, but pulling at the belt that's there, and go slowly. So go with the chest open. Yeah. And then come up. Keeping the belt there, you're going to swap the feet, so taking the other foot in there and taking the right leg out. Yeah, so belt around the heel, make sure it's tight enough. And you're lifting and turning first towards your left leg, towards the straight leg, lifting, turning. If the bent knee is lifted and supported with something, yeah. And then stretch the arms up. Push the heel against the belt as you go. And then come forward. So take hold of the side of the foot if you can. If that's too much, hold the belt. But either way, with the chest open first, elbows to the side if you can, and then going forward. Okay, then as you inhale, coming back to center. Now taking both feet into the belt again. Yeah, so good. The belt around both heels. And Paschimottanasana. Right, so as you inhale, stretching the arms up. Make the legs firm. Pull up the knees, broaden the backs of the legs. And then from there, from the hips coming forward, holding the sides of your feet, lengthening through the front. If you can't hold the feet, then you hold the belt. And then slowly coming forward. And if you can hold the feet, then elbows to the side and let yourself come forward more. See, you're coming forward from the hips. Okay, and then as you inhale, coming back to center. And you're going to finish with a twist. And then we do Viparita Karani as your relaxation because we're a bit over time. I wanted to do shoulder stand, but I have to leave it for next time. So let me show you. This is also an interesting way to do with the belt. So you're going to, it's a twist, open twist. You're going to bend both knees up, taking both feet to the outside of the left hip. So right foot first, followed by the left. And I want the hips to be level. So if they are not, then you might need more height underneath that buttock. Yeah, so you're not like this. And then the belt goes this time around the pelvis again. And around that Virasana leg, knee. So it's gonna be your left knee. Yeah, so around the pelvis and that knee. And then lifting, and you're going to turn to your right side. It's a very interesting way to do that as well. It gives you much deeper twist around the waist with the belt. And then you can hold the belt to hold it with the right hand as you turn more. Yeah, makes sense? Some of you are already there, so stay there, keep working on it. So as you breathe in, lifting the chest, as you breathe out, going deeper into it. So you can with your right, taking your right hand around and holding the pulling of the belt to turn more. Lifting as you breathe in, turning more as you breathe out. So what the belt also does, it helps us to stay there a little longer than we would normally. All right, and as you inhale, you can come back to center. And changing legs. So keep the belt around your pelvis, but bending your knees up in front, taking your left foot to the outside of the right hip, knee in front of you, then the right foot on top of the left, and then the belt goes around your right knee and the pelvis. And lifting, and I'm kind of really pushing the knee against the belt. As I push the knee forward against the belt, it helps me to turn. Lifting, turning, and then I'm going to stretch the left arm and take hold of the belt. Pulling at the belt to get a little deeper, satisfying, more satisfying twist. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, turning a little more. Okay, then as you inhale, you can come back to center. Undo, stretch the legs forward. And we've got to wind down. So we are going to, I'm gonna get you to do Viparita Karani with the wall. So if you have a bolster, use a bolster with a blanket on top. Or if you don't have a bolster, you can have a few blocks with a blanket on top. And then I have a break behind. And it's a good thing to have the belt around the legs so they don't splay out. Starting with the hip. So it's important that the buttock is all the way to the wall. And I'm not going to cheat here by pulling at the ropes because I know you don't have any. So without the ropes, just lifting the legs up and shuffling all the way to the wall as the upper body goes down. And this is Viparita Karani. So you can be here for a few minutes, and then in your own time, if you want to push yourself out and lie down flat, I'll leave that up to you. We're gonna just wind down here. Yeah, and then shuffling on the shoulders to bring yourself close to that if you've come away from the wall. And start to let go. Relax the face and all the facial muscles. Widen the space between the eyebrows. Soften the eyelids. Let the eyes move down away from the eyelids. As if you had eyes at the back of the head, looking out through the darkness of the skull. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. Feeling the contact between the back body and the floor, the backs of the legs and the wall. From head to feet, feet to head, feeling all the touch points between the back body and the floor and the legs and the wall, all at once. I'm gonna finish with a quote by Rumi. I remember it right. When I come to a place of silence, the music is everywhere. Everything is music. So if you want to stay, stay there. If you want to lie down flat, I leave it up to you. I'm going to stop the class now. Please relax for as long as you need to. Have a great week, and I shall see you all next week. Good night.